Today our topic is going to be creating a positive, warm, and supportive home environment in your household. It's very important as parents that we begin to create an environment at home that's warm, that's inviting, that's happy, that's fun for our children. And ultimately that's fun for us, because if we can have a good relationship, good activity, a warm atmosphere, positive, uplifting, then when we come home from work and come home from our projects or school or whatever we're doing, we can also have a good time at home and we're not stressed, we're not arguing and fighting with our children. And so today we're going to talk about 3 ways that you can do that to create a positive and supportive and warm environment at home. And so we're going to go through 3 steps. Now, I'm also going to send you a worksheet in which you can listen to this audio CD at the same time as working through this worksheet that I have for you, okay? It'll make it much easier to go back and review it later on if you don't have time to do it right away. Okay, so for the step 1, I want you to do is maintain a positive attitude and speak positive words into the atmosphere and into your children daily. This is very important. That means that not that you're not going to discipline them and tell them what they can do, what not to do, but that means that you're going to speak positive words to them. You're going to always speak positive before you speak negative, okay? And let's do a quick check, okay? So you have your worksheet. If you don't have it right now, don't worry about it. Just go ahead and take out a piece of paper and an ink pen or a pencil. And I want you to do this activity with you really quickly, okay? I'll give you 5 seconds to go ahead and get that pen and pencil before I start asking my questions. Now, what we're going to do is a quick evaluation of your home atmosphere. Now, when I'm asking these questions of you, please be truthful in answering these questions. No one's there with you, and no one's going to judge you, even if they are. They're going to listen to. We're going to all do this together, because the idea is to come out of here with more insightfulness to what we can do for our home environment to make it more positive. So be honest about what you're saying, okay? So I hope you have your pencil and pen. I'm going to go ahead with my first question. Now, the first question, I want you to think about your household. When you and your kids come home from school, from work, from church, or wherever you're coming home from the day, where do you spend most of your time? Do you guys spend most of your time separated in your different bedrooms and your man cave, mom's knitting room, the kitchen? Where do you guys spend your time? Or do you spend your time together? You come back together at some point in time at night for dinner or maybe a movie time or just a little bit of downtime to talk to one another to see how everyone's day has gone or anything like that. Think about that. That's my first question to you, and I want you to write those answers down. How do you guys spend your time? Now, question 2. How often do you have a conversation with your child outside of giving instructions, correcting their negative behavior, or just small talk? How you doing? How was school? Yada, yada, yada. How often do you sit down and talk with them about their dreams, their aspirations, what's happening to them in their life, what they like, what's their new color, what's hot, what's not, what's going on with them? When do you have a conversation with them, or don't you? Or do you have a situation where you're not really very communicative with your children and you guys don't have a really good relationship or your child doesn't talk a lot? Just go ahead and note that, okay? Now, question 3. If your child brings home a report card with, say, 2 A's, 1 B, 2 C's, and a D, which grades would you focus on the most? Would you focus on the A's first, the B's first, the C's first, or the D's first? Now, we're all wired a little differently. So one parent may say, well, Yashim, I'm going to definitely go right in on that E, that F, or that D. Those grades are unacceptable. I'm going to deal with that. Now, what I suggest you do, absolutely, it's definitely important for you to talk with them about those grades, those low grades, and how you can bring them up. But what I would do in approaching it is make sure I talk about those positive A's first, those positive grades first. If they've gotten 3 A's, we're going to go ahead and boost them up and congratulate them and say really nice things about those A's first. And then we're going to go and we're going to talk about it with them about the D's and the F's. So whatever low grades they got that is not acceptable in your household. Now, when you talk to them about this, it's a good idea not to go into attack mode or to start downing them and putting them down about getting the low grades, because believe it or not, no matter how old they are, they understand that low grades are not acceptable, and and most kids want to do well in school, so they're probably feeling a little bad already about those grades. But I want you to discuss with them about how they can bring those grades up next time and focus on that part of it, okay? Now, so you asked those 3 questions. I hope you have those results. Now, I don't know what your results are saying right there in front of you, but you see them. But the idea here is what I'm trying to get to in terms of your evaluation of your home atmosphere is that if you're not spending the quality time with your children, if you're not having meaningful conversations regularly with your children, whether at bedtime or at dinner time, and if you're taking more withdrawals out of them than putting more deposits into them, I'm going to need you to turn things around a little bit and catch the positivity bug, I call it, and start enjoying your children and your relationship with them more. That means, um, step back a little bit, enjoy their relationship with them. You're their parent, they're your child, but sometimes we can get into that disciplinary mode, that parent, that child mode, and we forget about the relationship that we have with them and that we can have with them. And that relationship is very important as a parent. So that's a quick evaluation of your household, and that's the first step in making sure that you're evaluating things at home and getting it back to being a positive, open, fun-loving, exciting place you want your home to be for yourself and for your children, so we all enjoy each other, right? Okay, now step two. It's another activity or just a talking point. Now, this can be done as a family activity with your entire family if you want to, or you can just do it yourself, okay? Now, what this is here is a way of boosting confidence and self-esteem for your children. And so what I want you to do is take your piece of paper and your pen, and I want you to write down 3 to 5 things that are positive about your children. There are good qualities about them, what their assets are, what their strengths are, okay? I want you to take a pen and paper and write those down. And it could be something very simple. Oh, they have a great sense of humor. They're great at math. Find something. Even if you're having a hard time right now with one of your children and you're saying, oh, Yashim, this is tough, find something positive to say about him because he's really just been kind of off the rocker lately. Don't worry about it. Find something, whether it's he knows how to dress, whether he keeps his shoes neatly stacked up. Find something positive about that child. I want you to write 3 or 5, at least 3 things down, but I would love for you to have 5, okay? Now think about that, write those things down. Now step 3, what I want you to do is I want you to sit down one-on-one with your child, and do it separately. But if you decide to do it in a family meeting style, that's okay too. That means you're going to bring all your children. If you have more than one child, then you're going to have to do that activity for each child. You're going to have to write down 3 to 5 positive assets, strengths, qualities of each child, okay? And we're going to sit them down, and whether you're doing a family environment or one-on-one, and you're going to share those strengths with your child. You're going to talk to them and say, hey, I wrote down some things that I saw that you were really doing very well, some things that I love about you, that are great about you, and you're going to share that with them, okay? Now, why are you going to do that? You're going to do that because it's going to build their self-esteem, it's going to build their confidence, and they listen to us. As our parents, we're the front line defense of what's happening with them and how their self-esteem is going to be built up or it's going to be torn down. And so it's very important on your end that you're building that self-esteem and confidence up. And one way to start doing that is to making sure that they know that you think positive things about them, and you're helping them to also identify their strengths too. Sometimes kids don't know that, or even sometimes our teens don't know that. So it's very important for us to help them identify those strengths and those positive points about themselves as well. So, I hope you do that. These are the first 3 steps that I have for you today in terms of creating a positive, warm, and supportive home environment. Make sure you go ahead and get your worksheet. You probably didn't have it right now, but you can get your worksheet and print it off, and you can kind of go over this training series again with you and walk through these activities much slower. I went through them quickly, but you have access to the worksheet and also to the audio, so you can kind of go through this on your own. Okay, and now remember, before I leave you, is that I want you to speak positive before negative, and only speak negative if it's absolutely necessary to help them. Okay, to help them, not you.